Hello, this is Sky with a new haircut. I hope you are doing well. I want to speak a little bit about the symptoms that we have right now. I have been feeling a lot of them lately. So, since this shift is going on and the recalibration is taking place that I spoke about in my last video, there can be a lot of exhaustion and a lot of need for sleep. I've been sleeping a lot of hours, and I've heard that from other people too around me. I have been feeling like I'm in a very high altitude in a way. When I was in Cusco, for example, in Peru, it was very difficult to be in 3,200 meters above sea level because you get altitude sickness and you just feel in general uncomfortable in your body, and that's what I've been experiencing, a very high degree of discomfort in my body. Just not really wanting to be in my body because it just feels so tough. And yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping. I've been waking up in the middle of the night many times. I've been having sweat outbreaks, a lot of them, and just yeah, it's been hard. I've also been feeling extremely sensitive, very vulnerable, very sensitive to energies. And yeah, I just want to say a word of courage to everybody who's out there struggling right now. This is kind of something that we are experiencing at the moment. Um, Also, I want to direct the attention towards this whole process that I see described in the spiritual community oftentimes as a process that's very outwardly focused, and oftentimes I hear that people say, it's actually already been done, and there's a solar flash, or um, there is somebody coming, a politician, to save the world or bring about freedom and things like that. And while all these elements might play into it, I think it's a bit of a distorted picture to see it so outwardly focused, because the whole process is actually an inward process, because we are pivotal to the change that is happening. And what is happening is that we are being brought back to our own power, and unless we are in our own power, the shift is not complete for us, because we create our worlds. So that means that where we are at is where this shift is at. And this is not separated from one another. It's directly connected. And while the shift is also taking place outside, we are also generating it from the inside. And we can see where the shift is at by looking inside of us and seeing where we are at, because we are creating it. And it's a bit of a paradox, but this is what we need to understand to really find back to our power, because we are creators of worlds. And this is what we're being brought back to. And if we think that, oh, it's happening because of we reach the critical mass and there's a domino effect and all that, yes, that's true. But it is not true unless we are actually at the point where we are beyond the battle. Because the world of battle is the world of opposition, it's the world of dualism. And in the dimension that we're moving towards, there is no such battle anymore. There is no dualism. There is peace. And that means that when we look at what's happening outside in the world, it's very important to take a healthy distance and to bring ourselves back into our inner peace in meditation or taking walks in nature, or whatever makes us feel calm, because the calmness that we have inside has an effect towards the outside. And everything that is happening in the world is actually mirroring who we are. And that might be a bit of a pill for a lot of people to swallow, but unless we get to the point where we really understand that, we are not truly in our power. We do not depend on the outside world. We create the outside world, of course, always in connection with the divine power, because we as ourselves, we as our egos, we cannot create anything, or at least nothing lasting or good. But it's a theater stage, the world that we live in, for us to see where we can grow. And the situations are presented to us to bring us to the next level in our development. So every level, every situation that we face in our life is a challenge that is brought to us like in a training ground, so that we can go higher. And I've had something happen lately that this really illustrated this so well. When I had a problem with the phone agency who I had the feeling stole my money, I saw the difference of me approaching the problem in remaining peaceful and loving and without this feeling of anger, how easily it was resolved just by me also not attributing the outcome of things to the material level, by not saying, okay, well, I depend on the phone company to get my money back if they are being nice or not nice. I said, okay, well, I am not a slave to the phone company or any other company. I am a child of the divine. So I am being cared for and nourished by that force rather than anybody else. And that's how I saw how easily the problem was solved, and how good my mood was during the entire time. And I saw the kind of like the opposite of the example of that when I had the same problem and I was not in my in a peaceful state and a state of love, but I was really mad. And then actually I had a really awful time because I was really mad and my day wasn't really very pleasant, and it ended up not being resolved, or at least not the way that I wanted it. I didn't get my money back. And so when that happened, I really understood that it's not really about the problem that is being presented to me. It's not about the outcome that I desire It's about how my stance is towards the situation. Am I above it? Am I detached? Am I in feelings of love and peace towards things that are around going on around me? Am I able to not let whatever is around me take me down and lower my vibration? Or am I falling for the trap? Am I falling for the uh, all these things that happen in the world that want to get me down and make me think that, oh my God, it's all so horrible, and apocalypse, and all these things. Um, and then when I step in that trap, my vibrations are lowered, I get desperate, and then I actually contribute to what I don't want to happen in the world. And I think that's a very important aspect that is not really dealt with very much in the spiritual community, um, because it's an easy fix, to have somebody save the world, or to have a solar flash come and arrange everything. Uh, what has to be arranged is have to um, I have to sort myself out, really, and reconnect with the force that I am, and that everybody is, the divine force, the divine power. Um, and, clean up in myself. If I look at everything that's happening in the world that's bad, I think it's much more productive to look at my own life and see what's bad, or what is it that I create that I don't want to create. What is it that mm, lowers my vibration, or what is it that I don't face in a good way? How do I act in my own life rather than pointing outward and pointing the finger at somebody who does something bad? So I externalize all the bad. Yeah, so I wish you a lot of courage and stillness to go through this phase in the most pleasant way that is possible. And we're walking towards something beautiful, don't forget that. And yeah, see you soon.